Okay, picture this. A famous landmark, one you might even recognize from a Hollywood movie, needing to come down. Not just knocked over, but dismantled with incredible precision, innovation, and real care for the community around it.
Yeah, we're talking about the Metrocenter Mall in Phoenix. Quite the place back in the day.
Absolutely. Opened in '73, Arizona's first two-story air-conditioned mall. I mean, for decades, it was the place to be. It even had that cameo in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So much history there.
For sure. And that's why this deep dive isn't just about, saying goodbye to an old building. It's really
Yeah.
about understanding the nuts and bolts, the engineering, the environmental side, the community focus that goes into such a huge urban change.
Right, because this wasn't just demolition.
No, not at all. This project is setting a benchmark, really. It's paving the way for this massive $850 million redevelopment called the Metropolitan.
So that history, the fact it was so well loved, how did that play into the actual demolition project? Because it sounds like they were trying to reimagine it, not just erase it.
Exactly. The team was very aware of the public feeling, the nostalgia. They really had to manage that. You even had city leaders quoting Bill and Ted at the kickoff, which is kind of fun.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And, architecturally, that original two-story design, it actually gave them an advantage. It created this natural elevation differentiation.
Meaning the new place won't be just flat.
Right. It allows for more interesting topography in the new urban village. A neat little bonus from the old design.
Okay, but beyond the nostalgia, what about the practical stuff? Like you had active businesses right next door, Sears, Walmart, a storage place, plus a working transit station. That must have been a headache.
Oh, a huge one. Keeping disruptions minimal, basically aiming for zero impact on those neighbors, was a top priority. Took incredibly careful planning.
And then the building itself. I imagine a mall that old had its share of, let's say, hidden issues.
Definitely. Hazardous materials were a major factor. We're talking about nearly 75 big containers worth of regulated asbestos, both friable and non-friable. Plus, think about it, over 21,000 fluorescent bulbs, thousands of old PCB ballasts, all across roughly 1 million square feet.
Wow, so you needed specialized crews for that.
Absolutely. NESHAP and AHIRA certified teams, you can't just wing that stuff. And doing it in the Arizona summer, in sealed containment areas.
Yeah, how did they manage the heat? That sounds incredibly dangerous.
They brought in some pretty advanced cooling and ventilation, state-of-the-art systems, negative air machines with HEPA filters. The works. It was about protecting the workers, obviously, but also making sure the abatement and containment held up, keeping the air pressure right.
And it worked.
Flawlessly, it seems. They worked closely with the county's air quality department, Maricopa County, and had zero violations, zero environmental incidents. Really impressive.
Okay, so that's above ground. What about below? Any surprises there?
Yeah, the ground itself was tricky. Variable subsoils, some soft stuff going down maybe 20 feet. That meant digging out more than expected and recompacting.
More work, more time.
Right. And the anchor stores. They sat on these massive caisson foundations, deep concrete piers. Those had to come out too, down to 10 feet below grade. So, yeah, complexity underground as well.
Let's shift to sustainability because that 98% landfill diversion rate, that's phenomenal. How on earth did they achieve that?
It really came down to meticulous sorting and on-site processing. They crushed something like 36,500 tons of concrete right there.
Wow.
Yeah, and 52,000 tons of asphalt, 5,000 tons of steel, plus aluminum, copper. They even salvaged big equipment like switchgears and chillers. They set up a secure area, used crushers like Terex Finley jaws and impactors, and just processed almost everything.
That's incredible resourcefulness.
But here's the really clever part. It wasn't just about recycling. They actually engineered the demolition to figure out the total scrap value beforehand. And that value, that money they knew they could get back from the salvaged materials, was used to inject cash right into the early stages, the abatement, the demo, the site prep. It helped make the whole $850 million redevelopment financially feasible from the get-go.
So they turned the demolition debris into upfront funding, essentially.
Exactly, turning a cost into an asset. Super innovative financially.
And they used tech to manage all this complex work.
Yeah, digital tools were key. Real-time field reporting software, cloud platforms for daily safety meetings, hazard analyses. It kept everyone connected and allowed for quick adjustments. Very streamlined.
Which brings us to safety. A project this complex with hazmat, heat, heavy machinery. How did they do on safety?
Outstanding record. Zero recordable accidents over 17,000 man-hours. That's seriously impressive. Their EMR, the experience modification rate, which insurance companies use to gauge safety, it trended down to 0.98 in 2023. That's top tier.
What made the difference?
Just rigorous planning and follow-through. Strict adherence to OSHA rules, especially for asbestos, the AG SHAP regs, plus constant air monitoring, proper PPE like P100 respirators, and really robust site security to protect everyone.
It sounds like the client was pretty happy too. I saw a quote praising how they turned demolition into value.
Yeah, the client highlighted that ability to engineer the scrap value upfront and how the team's combined expertise in abatement, demo, and on-site processing saved major costs and time. It really sums it up.
So looking back, this Metrocenter project feels like more than just knocking down an old mall.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic case study in, well, smart demolition and urban renewal, balancing that history and nostalgia with a forward-looking vision, tackling immense technical challenges, and doing it safely and sustainably.
Sets a high bar.
It really does. The kind of project that deserves recognition, maybe something like a nod in the 2026 Demolition and Excellence Awards. It offers so many lessons for the industry.
Definitely. And it makes you think, doesn't it? As we look at all the aging infrastructure out there, how can this approach, this idea of turning demolition from just removal into the first step of creation and finding value where you might just see waste, how can that reshape how we tackle redevelopment moving forward?
That's the big question, isn't it? Lots to chew on there.